Hello everybody, we're back to this recording session, okay? So this recording session is a repeat of what you would have learned in the live lesson with our tutor for the financial course. So we record this session because we think that it is actually beneficial if you just in any case you missed the lesson or you got lost during the lesson, you can learn it anytime, anywhere at your own pace. So thinking about the pace, if I am speaking too fast, that's usually the case anyway. You should know that there is a place that you can always adjust the speed, the playback speed, to lower than 1. So then it will be easier for you to follow, okay? First of all, we're going to start the topic, which is interest rate, okay? Again, we use the inquisitive learning approach to guide you through the learning journey. So we expect that you remain curious, and then you ask questions passionately, okay? So there is never a stupid questions, but learning how to ask question is also a technique itself. We would suggest you to start using what, who, where, when, how, why. Okay, so now you can pause this video to start thinking about the questions. Okay, so our topic is the interest rate today. So put down your questions on your note. Okay, as many questions as you may. As we go on with the lesson, some of your questions will get answered. At the end of the lesson, you can come back to the list of the questions that you wrote down, and then you will see which were answered, which were remained unknown, and then you can explore, learn further. You can come back to us, and then we can have more sessions with you. Okay, so first of all, now, I'll go ahead to show you the answers of many questions you possibly put down. For example, what and how. Okay, so this is about what. What is simple interest and what is compound interest? This is an overview and a definition for you to understand the basic concept, okay? Right, let me do this. So interest is the cost of money. Whether you're borrowing money, you're borrowing a bike, you're renting a bike, you're renting a car. It comes with a cost, and that cost called rental. If you borrow money, the cost is called interest. Okay, so if you lend money to someone else, then you get rewarded, you get compensated. Okay, and that is also called interest. So the borrower will pay a fee to whoever lend or provide a loan. Some of the money provider can be individuals, your uncle, your friend, or a bank. Okay, so now when we talk about interest, it's actually we typically use a rate in terms of percentage. So you say 1%, 2%, or 10%, 20%. Now the question is, what is the most reasonable rate, most reasonable level of the interest when you borrow money? 1%, 0.1%, 10%, 80%? What do you think? Okay, so you can now learn from Google. Perhaps, I guess your fingers is typing now in Google. What is the common rate of interest? What is the interest rate? What is the current interest rate? Okay, if you're not doing it yet, try now and see what you find out. Okay, so what is the percentage? It's a common sense. Okay, so what does it cost you to borrow £100 from the bank, for example? Right, okay, we will continue with that. percentage a bit later. Before we move on, there are two more important concepts. Okay, one is simple interest, another one is compound interest. Okay, so you can read. Simple interest is based on the principal amount of a loan or deposit. Always, okay, always based on the principal amount. What is principal amount? It's actually just the initial amount. So when you save money, for example, you put your money into the bank, you get rewarded a month later with a small amount of money come back into your bank account. And that initial deposit is the principal. Okay, and compound interest. Compound interest is based on the principal and the interest you accumulated. Let's say monthly. A bank usually pay you interest based on monthly period. Okay, based on monthly period. And then simple interest, as it says, simple. Okay, we can start looking into that simple interest first of all, and then we can move on to learn the more complicated compound interest. Right, before we move on to learn something else, I want to introduce you the what we call self-learning method and resources. Okay, so since you are big boy, big girl now, you're no longer a young kid that waiting to be spoon-fed. Okay, so we strongly recommend self-learning. So you don't have to rely on some other person. The knowledge doesn't have to be spoon-fed. You can learn it yourself, then do it yourself. It's a lot more efficient and a lot more fun. Okay, so let's say we will use search engine. Everybody know how to ask Google, right? You know, if you're under a certain age, specifically under 16, 14 years old, you're not recommended to use Google. There is a children version search engine, but now here I'm taking Google as an example. Okay, so in the search bar, you put in your question. For example, we interested in the interest rate in the bank in the UK. We want to know whether it's paid monthly as well. So we put in all the keywords in it, and then after you enter, you have this information come up. Okay, you know, a lot of things. A lot of time I will say that it's interesting to see people also ask, look, do the bank account pay interest monthly? Is that monthly, daily, or yearly? Okay, so you can also get take advantage of this frequently asked question. So in the frequently asked question, you also find that some of the things you actually would like to know as well. For example, now it's simply one sentence answer your doubt. Okay, yep, so you got it. And now when you ask the interest rate in the UK, you need to understand, look, if it's an AD, started with AD, it means it's an advert promotion, and it's a HSBC promotion, there is other commercial side promotion, there is a Bank of England. Okay, so you know that Bank of England is the central bank in England. So this could be more reliable resources. Okay, basically when you come in here, it tells you a lot of things that you need to know. Okay, and you see the bank rate has changed over time, isn't it? Yeah, and now it's 0.1. It's really low, near to zero. As the tutor might already have told you in the lesson, is that some of the country like Japan, they could even make the interest rate to be negative, which means you pay to make a deposit into the bank instead of you earn interest. You don't earn interest in those countries. Okay, and then this is how you use Google to to learn and explore some information to get more knowledge about certain topic. Another good way to learn is from BBC Bite Size. If you haven't haven't seen this before, this is a really good place where you can learn a lot of topics for primary and secondary students, especially. For example, simple interest has got a very good page itself to explain to you how to calculate simple interest. Let's take this example, okay? So Sally deposits £600 into an account, and that interest rate is per annum, which means it's per year. Per year you get 5% return. So you want to calculate how much interest Sally would earn in a year and how much money in total Sally would have in her account after 1 year. Okay, so first thing is to calculate the interest Sally would have earned with this condition, okay? So 5% of £600, easy peasy, turns out to be £30. That's really good. £30 in a year you earn in terms of interest from the bank. How much in total Sally would end up? She would have a new balance of £630. Okay, so this is £600, the initial payment, principal amount, plus the interest that she earned. In total, £630. So now you can try to work out this question, okay? Jamie's bank, now it comes to Jamie. Jamie's bank account pays interest at 4.3%. He's put initial deposit principal amount of £850. How much do you think Jamie will have after 1 year? How much in total? Okay, so pause now, do your own calculation. Once you've done it, come back, continue to play and see whether you got the correct answer. Okay, I'm going to review the answer. 3, 2, 1, bang. Have you got it? You got it correct? Okay, now we come back to our DIY project. Okay, so you need to do it yourself. Remember, the inquisitive learning is about you to understand what, how and why. We just explore the idea of interest rate, which has got two types, simple interest and compound interest, and then we have learned how to calculate it. And now it's really important for you to get your hands on, to really create it yourself, do the proper calculation, and in a tools that's gonna be quite useful for your future business management or project management, which is a spreadsheet. So we're going to learn how this interest calculator works, and then we're going to learn how to create our own simple interest projection. Okay, so take this as example. This comes from one of the online calculator. Okay, so you can do, what you can do is you can see that a lot of things here. Number one is the starting balance. We also call it initial deposit, initial amount, or principal amount. Okay, and then you put in the 2% 2 or 3 or 1 or 1.4, 1.5. So these two are for you to fill in. You can change the number in order to understand how much in total you get or how much you earn every month. And also, this is a calculator for you to be used for different scenarios or different people. So you need to make sure that these two fields, starting balance and interest rate, are changeable. So in a computer language, we call it variable. Variable is a value that you allow you to change. You can input different value, and then a computer software will calculate the outcome, will do the projection for you automatically and adjust it automatically as soon as you put into different value in these variable. Okay, so in here as well, it also asks you how long do you want to put your money in there. Let's say in the bank, or you want to lend it to someone. And once you click on calculate, this is the function. You get this, you get on your right hand side, you get this projection table. Okay, let's read the projection table now. So the first month, you put the money in. A month later, you earn interest. 2% of £100 is £2. So in total now, in your interest pot, you have £2. And then in your balance, you have your initial payment principal amount plus the interest you earn for this month, £102. And then for the second month, at the end of second month, you earn every month, you earn 2%. So every month you earn 2%, you see? Yeah, every month all the way up to a year. And what happens is you then accumulate how much total interest, how much in total the interest you earn. £2, £2, 4, next month 6, 8, 10, and so on. Okay, and then your balance as well. Every month you accrued the total interest into your balance. So in the end, you would have earned £24 total interest. And then your £100 initial payment will now become, excitingly, £124. You are much richer than the beginning of the year because you earn interest. Okay, so again, this is the simple explanation about the interest rate and the calculator. Okay, we're moving on to the next, is really to get your hands on now. Okay, so what we call DIY practice, do it yourself. Okay, we're going to create your own spreadsheet and then to do a projection on simple interest rate over the year. This is what I have done for you as a model sample, okay, example. So you are going to do the same. Okay, now let's come to the Excel sheet, spreadsheet. We also call it spreadsheet. This is the example. Okay, I've done it for you. So I want to, let me delete all the numbers. Okay, so I'm going to do it with you looking. Now, can you pause this video and follow the format? Build this table first. Okay, put in all this text and then build this table for simple interest projection. Once you finish building the framework, the skeleton, when it comes to do the formula and the calculation, you start this video again. Okay, now remember we said that we need to have two variables on the slide deck shown you earlier. The first variable is the principal balance, initial payment. The second is the interest rate, because interest rate does go up and down. Anyway, anybody lend money for different amount of return, they expect different rate. Okay, so to start with this, okay, we fill in the number, £100, let's say, and the interest rate, well, simple, make it 2. Okay, so if you don't have this in 2%, right, you have to put either 0.02 instead of 2, or you put 0.02, and then you can change the format of the cell. So in that change format, can you see you can choose percentage? So make it a percentage, and we don't want decimal places, so put 0 in the decimal places, and then okay it. Then it will become 2%. Okay, and if you like, put it into the middle, okay? Align into the middle, to the center. Interest per month. First month, you just put the money down, okay? You don't have any anything, any interest, so put balance there. Or instead of putting the balance here, because we want this table to be a projection and automatically show the data after, when you change the variables value. So we use a formula instead. The formula start with equal, sign equal, okay? So equal to what? Equal to F4, yeah, F column, fourth row. You can use your mouse, just click on it, or you can just type in equal F4, okay? So then in this cell, now it inherit the value in this orange cell, inherited, which means when you change it to 200 one day, or another customer say, I want to deposit £1,000 or £22,000, and then you can always change it, and then this whole table is gonna be a automatic table, right? You don't need to manually change anything later on. So that's why we need to use formula. And now exciting part comes, right? Month one, at the end of first month, remember the bank will pay you interest monthly. So we calculate the interest on a monthly basis. Again, we start using formula. Remember, we saw the formula in BBC Bite Size of Simple Interest. That page, it tells you how to calculate the interest. The interest will equal the principal balance multiply by the interest rate, £2. So if you double click, you see the formula. If you just let it go, it shows you the outcome. Okay, so now £2. Are you happy? Can you just do a manual check whether this formula, everything working all right? Yeah, simple. 2% of 100 is £2, right? And now total interest included for this month. This is the first time you have. Oh, okay. Let's read this column later. Okay, we'll do it a bit later. Now every month, how much you earn is the same for simple interest. Remember, simple interest is based on the principal amount. So every month is the same. You want to do a copy. Do you know how to do the copy in Excel? If you follow my lesson before, you know how to do it. If not, I'll show you again. So there are a few ways to do it. First way is you highlight on the cell where you want to copy, and then you do a copy. And then you highlight the cell that you want to paste, and then you do the paste. Okay, just paste it. Okay. You got 0. Oops, where's wrong? Okay, so this is very important learning. When a cell has got a formula, when you copy it, you can either copy a formula or copy the value. In this case, it automatically, if you do a copy and paste, it automatically copies the formula. If you look at the formula, it's F4, the upper cell, okay? Or actually, F4 multiplied by F5. What happened after you copy? If you double click, remember you double click, you see the formula. It actually becomes a formula that calculating lower cell F5 multiplied by F6, because the formula actually works on the relative position. So first month, it calculate this two. Second month, it calculate next two. Okay. So in order to make sure that we always calculate this two cell, no other cell, no moving, no changing, and you have to do a trick. The trick is to pay some money there, pay some dollar. Okay. So in front of the column name and the row number, you put $sign. Remember, to fix the location, right? Fix the position. And now if you do the copy and paste again, you definitely get the correct answer. Okay. Another way to do a copy is you highlight it and then use a Control C, or in MacBook it's command plus C key to copy. Control command plus what for paste? V. Okay, so you can do Control C and then you can select all the rows that you want to paste and Control V, paste it all. Another way to do it is let me remove it now. You select the cell you want to copy from, And then at the bottom right corner, there is a black box, okay? When your cursor is moving around, it's a white fat cross. When your cursor comes to the corner, it becomes a black thin cross. That's when you can start click on it and drag it down. And then you see it copy the whole formula. All right, so this is copying. And now let's look into the total interest accrued this column. So first month you earn £2. So total interest is 2, you manually put it in, and then second month, £2 from month 1, month 2, you have another 2, is 4. Hang on, you don't want to do manual job. You want to create a tool that automatically calculate. So here is the way to do it. You put this one equal to this month's newly earned plus last month's interest. Last month you got 0, remember? First month you had nothing. And now this is the formula. You see, you always, every month you accrued your total interest, always accrued from this month, what you earned and what you have already earned in the past few months. Okay, so this is the formula. And now rest of the month is all the same. You want to copy. Remember, we can do drag copy. Yeah, drag copy. Now, did you notice that we do not need $sign to fix the location, because we don't fix the location. Every month calculate based on this and that. Every month calculate based on this and that. This relative position always valid, okay? Always apply to the same month, same total interest accrued for each month. So this is what you get. And now the final balance, okay? So every month you have £100 to start with. Every month you earn some interest, and then you want to, every month you're excited. You want to see how much I have now, how much I have now. How are you going to calculate this? Do it, you can give it a pause now, okay? Do it your own way, or write down your formula, and then you can come back to check number 1 method, and then I'll mention the number 2 method as well. Okay, so if you have sharp eyes, you possibly already seen I have a star formula to use here. Monthly balance, talking about these cells, they equal principal balance plus interest accrued. Okay, so build it into the formula. Remember, formula start with equal to principal balance. Oh, principal balance is here, plus interest accrued. Okay, every month your total interest accrued here. So is equal, again, is equal principal balance plus total interest accrued. Okay, is it all done? Good. Now we copy. Yeah, because every month the way of calculation is the same, so we can just copy. And now, do you see anything wrong? Again, always remember the principal balance is the same. Always take the value, inherit value from here. So you don't want it to change. So you say always there, use the $sign to say always there, principal balance. Okay, and now you rectify your formula. Okay, and now you do the drag copying. You got the correct table now. Okay, exciting, isn't it? Oh, I mentioned that I would teach you a second way of calculating the balance. Okay, so the second method to calculate monthly balance. Okay, I put in a new column now. Second star formula to use. 2 stars formula. Monthly balance will equal to last month's balance plus newly earned interest. Does it make sense to you? Think about it. So at the month 0, you have the principal balance. The second month, after the first month, your monthly balance will be last month's balance plus this month's interest. Okay, and Every month is the same, isn't it? So drag copy. Look, have you got the same answer? Same number? Yeah, so got it now? The second method, that's it. It's all about problem solving, and be flexible, be adaptive. Mathematics is fantastic. Finance plus mathematics is even better. Okay, have you done your simple interest calculator, simple interest calculation projection using spreadsheet? Are you happy with that? I'm sure you all did very well. Now you are given a new challenge, okay, to do a more complicated calculation. We use this for compound interest projection. Let's look into what we have from the online calculator first. Okay, here you can see that in the compound interest projection, again, initial balance, take example as £100. Oops, hang on. And now the interest rate, okay, you put in the interest here on the left hand side. You put in the interest rate to be 2% again, monthly again, 1 year again. Okay, so what happened is, if you remember what you did last time, after 1 year, you get £124 in total in your balance, right? And now with compound interest, you have more. Okay, the total interest you earned no longer just £24, it's more. How did it come? How did it come up like that? Okay, so look into this. First of all, remember, compound interest means that every month you earn the interest, and then next month you also earn interest on the interest. Interest, you earn interest on the interest. That is compound interest. Have you got your head around yet? You earn interest on the interest. Okay, let me bring up that BBC bite-sized learning here. What do you want to learn? You want to learn compound interest. See? Keyword, beautiful. Wow. Okay, so read it yourself. Read it yourself first, okay? We have done the simple interest, okay? So ignore that. Now look into the compound interest. Okay, so you see that the interest earned for the first year is £20. And then the interest you earn for the second year is £21. So every year your interest is different. Third year even more, because you don't just earn the interest on your principal amount, you also earn interest on the interest you already earned previously. Okay, so using the simple interest, you get £60, the total interest for 3 years. Using the compound interest, you earn £63 over 3 years. Okay, so that's the difference. Now let's come back to how we're going to do our DIY. Okay, so this is the online version. You have done a couple of rounds of learning about what compound interest is. I hope by now you have a very clear idea. Every month you don't just earn the interest on the balance, on your principal balance, but also on the interest. Okay, let's look into our lovely spreadsheet. Compound interest. Again, please build the skeleton. Pause the video now until you finish building the skeleton. Then come back to see how we do it together. Okay, so I'm going to remove all this number, start from afresh, and here as well. When you're ready, okay, let's see how it goes. Month 0, you got no interest in, you haven't started yet. You haven't accrued any interest, but you do have the principal balance where you put in here. And remember, always use the dollar sign to refer to a value that always stay in the same location, okay? And now for first month, you earn the interest based on the principal balance multiply by the interest rate, which is all fixed, isn't it? Okay, £2 here, and every month is the same, is it? No, remember, compound interest is not the same. It's not the same. Every month your interest rate is not the same because every month you have bigger base. You earn interest on the basis of principal balance plus the interest you accrued. So now go back. So how do you know how to go back? Do you know how to go back quickly? It's Control Z in Windows system, okay? Control Z or undo it. Just undo it. I can't remember what is undo in MacBook now. You need to Google it. Ask Google, okay? Right. So what happened? You need to accrue your interest, okay? So see how much interest you earn in total. Is this month's interest plus last month's interest. And this doesn't change. Every month is the same. You earn the interest based on what you earned previously plus what you have earned this month. Remember, in compound interest, every month you also earn interest. You earn interest. Oh, okay. Your interest equal to, your earn interest equal to the principal balance plus this. Okay, there are so many different ways to calculate it. I'm trying to use more intuitive way to calculate it. This is every month the interest you earn from your principal balance. Remember, the compound interest also earn interest on the interest. So you need to plus the interest you earn last month. You see, you already have the interest here. Last month you have the interest pot in total £2. And multiply by the rate. Okay, remember the rate always fixed in that location. So this is the second month. Your interest per month is based on what you earned from your principal amount plus the interest rate on the interest you accrued. Okay, now drag copy. Okay, you have it here. You happy with this now? Again, let me put down the formula for you to understand. Okay, so monthly interest no longer fixed. Okay, monthly interest as a formula is equal to interest earned based on the principal plus interest earned based on the accrued interest, which is what you have accumulated so far, okay, by far. Yes, makes sense? So the formula is this: principal multiplied by interest rate, accrued interest multiplied by the interest rate, and that calculated the interest you earn per month. And then every month you do the same. Okay, now let's fill in this balance, monthly balance. Okay, I prefer to make it monthly balance now to make it clearer for you to understand what's the balance. Okay, so monthly balance here, we're calculating this one, right? Okay, right, so first month inherited from the principal balance. Did you see that? You highlighted it. You double click, it highlight where the cell inherit the value is from. Inherit the value is from. Okay, now second month. This month use the formula, okay? Remember, we always use a formula to make it automatic. Make sure that the projection table can be calculated automatically. Monthly balance equal last month's balance plus what? Plus the new interest that you earn this month, yeah? So this is the formula. Last month plus new interest you earn this month. Every month is the same. You just drag copy. You happy now? 126.82. Okay, so some of you may have 0.821345, long string. Remember, you can always do the format cells where you can select number and restrict the decimal places to 2 places only, because this leads you up to pennies. Anything smaller than pence is not divisible, so it's meaningless anyway. Right, so this is one way of calculating monthly balance. The formula is here. Look, monthly balance equal to last month's balance plus interest earned this month. Okay, and now I want to ask you, as I said, mathematics is always beautiful because you can be smart and smarter when you're doing the mathematics. There are multiple solutions, always. Okay, so open your solution thinking capability. Now, so you can think of the second formula. If you want to, if you don't want me to review the answer straight away, you pause the video now, and then you think of it yourself, and then you come back here and see whether we have come up the same second solution. Okay, so my solution is monthly balance. Okay, so monthly balance is equal 2 parts with addition here, you see. So first part is how much you have from your principal balance. So principal balance base plus the interest you earn based on the principal balance, which is the first part of the formula. And then your balance, remember, with compound interest, you also earn interest on your interest. So far you have interest up to last month as the base. With 1 more month to go, 1 more month, you earned interest on what you have already in your interest pot. Right, so let's look at here. Right, okay, so let me remove this one now. The formula for the second solution is that you use, remember, put the dollar sign, okay? Principal balance, multiply 1 plus the interest rate. This is to calculate how much in total you have from your principal balance. And the second part is plus what you have from your last month's interest, total interest amount, and then you roll 1 month more, you end up with 1 plus the interest rate. This second part, latter part of this formula, is what you have from your interest that you earn every month. You roll on, okay? So that's why it's called compound interest. So this, make sure that you have dollar sign to fix the most important variables location. Always quote from here. Now you want to drag copy. You can see that the amount ends up the same, isn't it? Same as your first solution, which means it's correct. Now, if you found the second solution is way too complicated, I don't blame you. It does look complicated. It does look more complicated, okay? It's not something that you must learn. You can forget about it. Stick with what you can digest so far. You've done very good by now. If you have any question or if you're interested to know more, always come back to us, contact us.